Hello everybody, here we are today doing a preview of the Vancouver Canucks season, and we will be factoring in multiple things about whether or not they'll make the playoffs. Can the kids do it? Before we start, please make sure to like and subscribe, and if I am a little bit off, it's because I have to pay $1,000 to get my fuel pump replaced, so I'm just a little bit off today, a little bit off balance. But anyway, let's get to it. So, starting off, of course, we have to talk about whether or not Elias Pettersson is going to be a leader for the Canucks, because they need him to be. He has got a contract that's, a big thing that we're thinking about for this upcoming season, and we have to wonder, will he be all in for Vancouver or not? It is no secret that he may not be all in. Obviously, he said some comments lately that are a little bit weird, but we'll have to keep an eye out for that. But they're really going to need the 2017 5th overall pick to lead the way. Last year, Pettersson had 21 points, 10 goals, 11 assists, and 26 games played. That's really impressive considering he had 1 point in the first 6 games, but missed the rest of the year after those 26 games due to a wrist injury. However, it seems like, that's a big thing. Since then, the relationship seems to be a little weird. He's just going to have to put it on the back burner right now because he is going to be a huge part of this playoff push if they make it. The team finished with 50 points in 56 games a year after almost making the conference finals, and they need another leader. And for somebody that was drafted so high, they're going to need him to step up even more and be that guy. Bo Horvat, JT Miller, they traditionally fill those roles, but I think Elias is going to have to show that he can be a leader for this team regardless of the contract situation. A franchise player only comes around so often, and him showing all that he can do for this year is going to be great for the locker room, because that's what we don't need, is to worry about any of that. And I'm certainly not worried about his play affecting the team or anything like that. It's just going to be one of those things. Can he be a leader? Can he step up even though all that stuff's going on? Now, the second topic I want to talk about is arguably the biggest topic deciding Vancouver's playoff fate, and that is whether or not Thatcher Demko can replicate the success from last season. And, what he did last year was spectacular, as he posted the 11th highest goal saved above average in the league. And I know his normal numbers don't look the greatest because he posted a 2.85 goals against average, but 5 of the top 11 teams for scoring per game were Canadian teams, or scoring chances, I should say. And since the Canucks gave up the third most scoring chances against last year, it definitely wasn't on Thatcher. We've got a lot of defensive issues, so, what he was able to do was really impressive. The Canucks' defensive issues, like I said, inflated his stats, but Thatcher is still going to have to perform as a number one goalie. He signed the 5-year, $25 million deal, and he's going to have to back up that contract now. Now, I think he can replicate the success he had from last year, since they don't have to play against guys like McDavid and Matthews over and over and over again. Now, he will have to play McDavid because they're in the division, all that good stuff there, but it's not going to be 8 times, so that's going to be huge. Divisional games aren't the only games he'll play of this year, I am aware of that, but with teams like the Sharks and the Ducks in the division this year, or maybe they don't have as much punch as other teams, that might inflate his numbers, or not inflate, deflate, help it out a little bit. Now, of course, we'll have to see how the team plays defensively, and I don't have a ton of major hope there, but we'll have to see. Now, something tells me that Demko's season could be a little bit streaky, for better or worse. We just need him to be for better most of the year. And, of course, when you talk about a goalie, you have to talk about his teammates. And I want to talk about the new additions on the team that are going to have to be really crucial to this playoff push. So starting off, we have to talk about Conor Garland, who signed a 5-year, $24.75 million extension with the Canucks after he and Oliver Ekman-Larsson were traded as part of that, that deal to get that stuff off the books and help Arizona out a little bit for the future. And Garland is going to be important because currently he's projected to play on the line with Nils Höglander and Bo Horvat. This line is going to have to produce, and I think Garland provides the youth but has some experience, which is a good thing. He scores a ton of 5-on-5 goals, which is a good thing for the Canucks because they ranked 21st in the league for that last season. Now, I'm not sure how much value he'll provide on the power play. We'll have to see, but we've got a more skilled group there, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. But he is projected to be on the first power play unit, so hopefully big things. He doesn't play the type of game where he blocks lots of shots or, gets up and lays a bunch of hits, but I don't care about that. Just give us the offensive game. Give us a good offensive game and don't kill us defensively. Now, talking about another piece of that trade is, of course, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. People are really hype about him. I'm going to be honest, I don't have the biggest expectations for him. He was a top-pairing Arizona defenseman for quite some time, but I really just can't see him being worth the cap hit that he is going to be worth over the next 6 years. He'll give Vancouver offensive production, I do think, but defensively, I think it's going to be a problem, and I don't know what his offensive game is going to provide over the course of his contract. Now, somebody I am so excited to watch for this year, and maybe I'm hyping him up a little bit too much, but I really want to see how he does, is Vasily Podkolzin. And Podkolzin is the Canucks 2019 10th overall pick, and his role in the top 9 might actually be really critical if he can play well. I'm not going to say he's going to score 30 goals this year in year 1 or anything like that, but, he does have 95 games of KHL experience. That includes the playoffs, and he'll be getting a taste of professional hockey in North America for the first time. And with him and Tanner Pearson on the wings for the third line, I have high hopes that third line might be able to get some production going. But again, I'm not going to push him too much yet because he wasn't a regular starter for SKA St. Petersburg in the KHL. There's going to be growing pains. I am completely aware of that. But I'd really love for him to come in and be another young player for the future that's on the cheap. We need a lot of that right now. And finally, of course, we have Yaroslav Halak, who is coming in after 3 seasons with the Boston Bruins. He is going to be the key. I'm telling you right now, him and Thatcher, if they're playing well, I think they could make the playoffs. In Boston, Halak had a 2.40 goals against average and a quality start percentage, of 59%. The league average is 53%. Now, the problem is that Boston has been a top 3 defensive team the past 3 years in the NHL. That's clearly not the case with the young Canucks. Now, Halak is only signed to a 1-year deal for $1.5 million, but if he can give us 25, 30, maybe even 35 games as a solid backup at age 36, then I think he could be a big addition for this upcoming year. So, after all that said and done, do I think the Canucks will miss or make the playoffs? This is a tough question, but personally, as of right now, even though I'm a big fan, I'm going to have to say no for this season. Vancouver realistically needs to finish 2nd or 3rd in this division. Vegas likely finishes 1st. Then you, of course, have Calgary, Edmonton, maybe LA, and then, of course, Seattle fighting for those spots, and Vancouver. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm going to say it's really hard, especially with the defensive group that we've put together. The defensive issues are troubling, and injuries of any kind that are major to our top players is going to be not good, I can tell you that right now, and it will hamper the playoff push. Now, if this season is another bad year, I think I might jump on the train. We're saying the 2nd round appearance might be our peak with this group. Who knows? Jim Benning, the cap issues, it's really hindering us right now. But I really do hope I'm wrong. The Canucks, I love them. I want them to do well. We'll have to see how it goes. And yeah, do you think the Canucks will make the playoffs this year? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe. Everybody stay safe. You have a great night. You go love hockey, all right? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.